Yes Have Some podcast is brought to you by Carnivorous Creations, your one-stop shop for all of your Proton Pack building needs. If you're in the market for a Proton Pack, head to carnivorouscreations.com. That's carnivorous with a K. You're going to find aluminum motherboards, resin parts, fiberglass shells, and a whole lot more. Find them on Facebook at Carnivorous Creations or head straight to carnivorouscreations.com, remember carnivorous with a K, and get started on an authentic, screen-accurate Proton Pack.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
I don't want to grow up. Do you want some?
Jurassic Park. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Ecto goggles with Ecto Buffer, Neutron Blaster, and Water Zapper, each sold separately.
From the corner penthouse of Spook Central all the way to Star Killer Base, this is Yes Have Some podcast.
Do I? Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags.
The only place in the multiverse where you can love the book, hate the movie, but still buy all the toys.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
Please remember to hold on to your butts and get ready to get stressed. With your hosts, Craig Goldberg, Abigail Gardner, and Jacob Walsh.
You got it?
Yeah.
You got it?
I got it.
What do you got there?
Wait,
Very
so
cool.
the problem with it was just that you couldn't get it open?
The problem was that the putty had leaked out the sides.
It was the putties.
Oh.
It was the putties problem.
Well, it's called brain putty. It says that it stretches forever and it's glittery, so it's very cool.
Forever.
Forever.
It stretches forever.
Hey guys, you just want to do Sandlot quotes for the rest of the episode?
The Sandlot? Oh my god.
Is it
I
overrated?
didn't even realize we were quoting Sandlot.
The
I
Sandlot?
said forever.
Here's my problem with The Sandlot. It's definitely overrated. I put it in the category with The Goonies. Like it's fine. It's enjoyable. And I'll watch it. But I don't have this nostalgic tie and think that it's this great... I don't know. People seem to treat it like one of the great coming-of-age stories. I don't know. And it's weird. I like kids' movies from that era because I was a child. I like baseball.
Yeah. Here's my thought. I feel...
Hey, what's baseball?
It's a thing where there's a... Okay, you know how wood comes from trees?
Do you want my thoughts on baseball?
I want your thoughts on The Sandlot.
Oh, I would compare The Sandlot to The Wonder Years. I feel like it's kind of a rose-colored glasses viewpoint of childhood, and it doesn't include all the bad parts, or it doesn't seem accurate.
Yeah, it doesn't have the part where Wendy Peppercorn sues that dude for kissing her.
Yeah, it's idyllic or whatever, to a fault.
Jake, what do you think about The Sandlot?
I think it's fine too. I always really liked it. I haven't seen it in a very long time. But I feel kind of the same way. It does seem a little Goonies-esque to where it's not really ever on my mind that much. But if I hear someone mention it, I'm like, oh yeah, that movie's fun.
Yeah. I don't know. There's an exclusive new Funko Pop, Wendy Peppercorn and Squints. Is that his name? Squints?
I think so.
It's a Target exclusive. So if anybody is a Sandlot/Funko fan, I don't know, find a bridge and just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm salty tonight.
Then congratulations, because everything out there's for you. So.
I'm salty. I've been editing video all day, and you know what? It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm excited to be here with you guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes Have Some Podcast, episode 107. Abby, what are you playing with?
I'm putting my putty away because it's broken.
Broken putty.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us as always. My name is Craig Goldberg, and I am here with my co-host, Abigail Gardner.
Hey, guys.
And Jacob Walsh.
Hello.
But you knew that. I feel like by this point, well, I don't know, you could be a new listener. There's a new listener out there who's saying, hey, who are these people? Introduce Abby. For the new... Hey,
for the new listeners, we're going to pass out a little card like they do at church. You're going to fill out all your information, and then we're going to send you a newsletter. Wait.
Do they do that at church?
Yeah. It's you put it in the offering box.
It seems like a scam.
Yeah.
Jake, have you ever been to church?
Have I been to church?
Yeah, have you gone to have you ever been to a church?
What is church?
It's like baseball.
Yeah, when I was young, When I was young, I was dragged to church a few times, and I had growing up middle school and high school. I had a lot of friends who went to church, and I did go to church a few times.
Okay,
with them, and it was a very uncomfortable time for me in my life.
Abby, have you ever been to church?
It was an uncomfortable childhood and teenage years because I grew up in the church. I was there
You grew up in a church?
Almost, yeah. My mom worked for the church, so we were there like almost every day of the week.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You guys want to ask me if I've been to church?
Hey, Craig.
Hey,
Yeah.
you ever been to church?
Well, here's the thing. Being Jewish, it's not frowned upon. It's a different kind of church. Hey, in high school, did you guys have the FCA, which was like a group? It was the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Yeah. So it's the Fellowship of
Cool T-shirts.
I was talking to this guy recently who's a friend of mine who's actually pretty religious, and I was talking to him about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and I was like, yeah, man, I felt really bad because a lot of cool kids were in that group. I wanted to be part of it, but I just couldn't join. And he goes, man, you don't have to be Christian to join that group. I go, no, I'm not an athlete. So... what do you guys think of that?
I think it's pretty funny.
Can I take that on the road?
You should. It's part of your new act.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what? I have a question now.
I'm going to introduce yourselves again. Yeah.
We're going to
I have a
start
question. Why are we? What got us talking about church? Why are we talking about church?
Why are
What's
we
happening?
talking about church?
Well, we talked about the Sandlot.
Oh, I think I brought up when you go to church and you have to fill out like the information card and put it in the offering.
Okay, I remember that.
It was my fault.
Why did you bring that up?
Because we have new listeners, and I feel like
Hey, guys, we have new listeners. Let's spend the first 10 minutes talking about church.
Okay, all right. Let's I don't know. How do we cleanse ourselves? Fuck, shit.
God damn it, vagina.
God, Jesus Christ.
God.
I'm so glad Abby just yelled, "God damn it, vagina." That's what Yes Have Some's all about.
That's what the people want.
So listen, folks. Welcome to the show. I really appreciate everybody tuning in this week. We've had a lot going on. Before we talk about, we got some fun, exciting announcements that we're going to be making. But Jake, in general, how are you? We talked about Jaws a lot last week. I'm not going to lie, man. Anytime I talk about Jaws, I get that urge to watch it, and I've been slowly churning through Jaws for like the last 3 days.
Piece by piece.
It's pretty great, right? It's good.
I keep falling asleep.
I feel pretty good, especially speaking of Jaws. In a few days here, I'll be heading down to Tampa for Shark Con, which we talked about last week. But I'm excited. It's coming up.
Speaking of Shark Con, got an email from good friend Eric over at Ghost Corps, and he was giving us a heads up about the setup that they're going to have in San Diego Comic Con next week. They're going to have the debut of Ghostbusters World, the brand new AR game similar to like Pokemon Go kind of deal.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
So they've got this like big setup at the baseball stadium there outside of San Diego Comic-Con where people are going to be able to go test out the new game. It's going to be like a beta version, but people are going to actually be able to play it for the first time. And there's like 4 or 5 big vendors debuting different entertainment properties in this setup. And I was looking at the list, and one of the other ones, not only are you going to be able to go and play Ghostbusters World for the first time, Shark Week's going to be there.
Oh.
So the Discovery Channel is going to be there with all of their Shark Week displays. And I don't know. That just reminded me of you guys.
Yeah, dude, wait. Should we go to that instead of... Is that the same weekend as Shark Con that you said?
Yeah, should we go to Shark Con or Comic Con?
Let's just tag up and go to Comic Con.
It's so cheap and easy.
I saw one of my friends who used to live here in Valdosta, who now lives in Texas and works for Mondo. I'm so jealous. But he works MondoCon, Jason Edmondson's booth every year.
Okay. Yeah.
And he just made a post that was like, hey, guess I'm going to my first Comic-Con working Jason Edmondson's booth. And I'm just like, man, God, that seems amazing.
We'll be there next year. So I'm reading this press release. So yeah, it's going to be Ghostbusters World, presented by Sony Pictures Entertainment in collaboration with Ghost Corps. And then here it is. In celebration of Shark Week's 30th anniversary, premiering July 22nd at 8 p.m. on Discovery Channel, Sharkzilla will be taking over San Diego Comic-Con. That's right. The 40-foot long... Well,
You just wait.
You just wait. I'm reading. It takes me a while. The 40-foot long inflatable shark will be outside the convention center, ready for photos with fans. In addition, every hour, Sharkzilla will bare its teeth and chomp everyday items, from lifeguard towers to beach chairs. You know, everyday items like lifeguard towers. You know when you go to the grocery store and you look at your list with like bananas, sponges, lifeguard towers. Be careful. Sharkzilla's coming. Jake, have you encountered Sharkzilla before?
I have not. I would like to. I'd like to see what's up. It's weird to me that they're calling it Sharkzilla. Like Sharkzilla seems like you say Sharkzilla and then you're like 40 feet, and I'm like, well, megalodons are bigger than that. Why? Like, why is it Sharkzilla? That's a weird.
Hey,
I don't know.
Discovery Channel should try harder with their discovering.
They should have an inflatable lifeguard tower.
What is it? I'm such a Ghostbusters nerd, and I'm so getting ready for Dragon Con. When I read Lifeguard, I was thinking that the Sharkzilla was going to be eating a Ghostbusters lifeguard, as in the yellow contraption that they wear on their belts.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Wow, you guys really are giving me a lot on that one.
You're really in the Dragon Con mode, huh?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, I am too.
Okay.
I'm wondering, so did you guys get the did you guys play the Jurassic World game that just came out where you like it's kind of like the Pokemon Go thing?
Yeah, I played it.
You have so I know that that's kind of like what the Ghostbusters one is going to be like.
Right.
I'm kind of like a little let down with the Jurassic World one. It's not. I've never been like a big Pokemon person, but I did play a little bit of Pokemon Go. And it was so much. It was more fun than this Jurassic World one. I don't know why. Like I don't know, but it's a little like lackluster to me. And I hope the Ghostbusters game that's coming out is a little more exciting.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jake. I had trouble using like the target system to hit the dinosaurs, and yeah, it was.
Well, those games tend to be like really repetitive to me. Like you walk, like I don't know. It's kind of like even Pokemon Go is like, this is like the same thing over and over.
It is, yeah. It's like it's fine for a little while. There was just something a little more exciting and fun about the Pokemon one than like the Jurassic World one feels like. Boy, I don't even know. It feels like the knockoff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and also Pokemon Go wasn't that like the first of that format to like incorporate while you're walking, like the map around you kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was such a big deal and it was so well received. It's going to be kind of hard to. I mean, even the Ghostbusters one, like I'm sure we'll love it. And unless it does something really innovative, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of like catching ghosts and putting them in traps. Which,
right.
I'm fine with. I'm not going to argue with it.
Definitely.
Speaking
of Pokemon Go, that reminds me of being in LA like 2 years ago, which is now the anniversary. I remember Pokemon Go had just come out.
That is true.
When we were over there.
Well, that's why we're doing a podcast tonight to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of Pokemon Go. I think.
Congratulations, Pokemon Go.
I think that they've done a great job. I've noticed they've had a ton of positive reviews on iTunes. Speaking of those, no, I won't go there yet. I wanted to talk about that. So it's been 2 whole years since we were out in LA for the Ghostbusters premiere. That's crazy to me. Can you guys believe that it's been 2 years? It seems like it was yesterday.
It does. I want to go back, and I'd like to go back and do the whole thing over, but like maybe like a better movie.
Sorry. Like a different movie.
Nice shooting, Rex.
2 years. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, and it was weird. Just the other day, I was at work, and every now and then, things like I'll be at work, and Ben or somebody will be like, "Oh, Jake does a podcast," and a lot of times people are like, "Oh, okay, cool. Who does it?" And then sometimes like some of the stuff we've gotten to do will come up, and that came up, and we have like a new shop manager / receptionist, and he was like, "Oh, what did you think of this movie?" He was just like asking me about it, and I'm like, "Oh, I was at the premiere," and I was like pulling up all the photos of us and all the pictures that like the press, took that we ended up in the shots of, and I was just, it was kind of like reliving it, and it was like, man, it was very fun. That was such a good time.
There's been a lot of those pictures floating around. Everybody's been posting them on Facebook. Everyone's get their Facebook memories, formerly known as On This Day, which I think memories is a better name, let's face it. Mm-hmm. It's been really cool, man. Like, I know we have fun talking about Answer the Call. It's kind of like you get to poke fun of it and stuff. But, like, that experience, getting getting to go out there. They kind of bent over backwards to make sure that all of the fans had really great opportunities to interact with the cast. Obviously, Paul Feig was there. He was great. And Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson, Ivan Reitman. And we got to see the movie, and we tweeted about it last night on Twitter. I mean, remember when our screening was later, but Paul Feig requested that our screening get moved to the big laser IMAX theater.
Yeah.
And he did that because he wanted everybody to have the best viewing experience.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. You don't really... Ghostbusters is still, even though obviously it's a giant brand and it's worldwide and everybody knows Ghostbusters, as far as, the fan community, I'm not going to go where you think I'm going to go. As far as the fan community goes, it's still a pretty tight-knit group. And, the fact that Sony Pictures kind of went out of their way and Ghost Corps went out of their way to give everybody a really awesome experience is something I'm never going to forget.
I mean, that's what I was thinking about.
For sure.
Specifically, with looking at memories on Facebook was the franchise rights alone group that started on Facebook, which was all of us who were going to the event. And just the conversations we were having leading up to it of how are you going to carry your stuff on the red carpet. As I remember specifically as females, we were freaking out about well, we're going to have our flight suits on. There's bleachers. There's a lot of stress, but also so much excitement. And it felt like going to summer camp for Ghostbusters.
Well,
I remember thinking that.
It was cool because obviously we're part of the George Ghostbusters and most of us went out there. We all shared a hotel together. We got to meet a lot of new friends and make new friends and see people that we haven't seen in a long time. And it was one of those things where things just kept working out for us. There's all this stress, and then you get there and there's all these people, and then somehow we randomly ended up in the best possible spot on the bleachers.
Yeah.
We're in the front row.
Yes.
In the corner where they're all taking pictures.
Yeah.
And Jake got a Slimer mask.
It's the best possible
It's the best
situation.
possible thing that could have ever happened.
Yeah.
And
it was amazing.
It was amazing. So, a lot of good memories from 2 years ago. We'll be going back next year for Ghostbusters Fan Fest, so hopefully we can, repeat those
Yeah,
memories.
that's what I was thinking, but also do more. I want to go to, what's the hotel where they filmed for the Sedgwick?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Omni or something? The Millennial something?
Yeah, we're bad Ghostbusters
Yeah, we're
fans.
bad
Somebody
fans.
get the name of that.
I think it is the Omni or something something close to that.
Yeah. I think I might have written it down, but I can't find it now. Who takes notes? Who needs them?
Who needs them?
Yeah.
It's fine.
There's a Sedgwick Hotel in
The
Kansas.
Millennium Biltmore Hotel.
There it is.
That's it, the
There you
Biltmore.
go, guys. Yeah.
The Omni is the fucking name of the magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In
There it is.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
It's
there
also
you
the
go.
name of the arena that used to be in Atlanta.
We're bad.
We're
We're
so
being
bad.
fans. We've been working really hard this week. We're tired.
We're so tired.
Well, cool. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun going through those memories. And gosh, so let's see. Facebook group therapy is our official Facebook group for Yes Have Some, and there's been a bunch of new members this week. Have you guys noticed that? New people. I'm seeing new faces pop up.
Yeah, me too.
And somebody, I can't remember his name, but somebody had asked about our opinions about Ghostheads. And it's kind of funny. It's also the 2-year anniversary of Ghostheads, which is obviously the Ghostbusters.
Are we about to talk about Ghostheads? Have we never really talked about Ghostheads on here?
We've talked about it in pieces. I mean, here's my thing.
Are we about to be honest about Ghostheads? Is that what we're getting into?
Abby, what do you... I mean, here... Okay.
I feel like we should save that for a
We're gonna hurt
special
anybody's
episode.
feelings, are we?
No,
No,
here's the thing.
that's never my plan.
I want to be
yeah.
honest about it, but I want to talk about it realistically and kind of our own perspective. I don't need... It doesn't behoove us to try to jump into anybody else's head that was part of that movie and try to figure out what's going on with them.
Yeah, it never behooves anyone to get inside anyone else's head.
It's not a good idea. But I've got some things to say about it. I mean...
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
All right,
go for it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Let's have an adult discussion.
Yeah.
An adult discussion about Ghostheads.
Yes.
So... What was that? You all right?
Yeah.
What's happening?
I'm getting stressed talking about Ghostheads.
Okay, it's fine.
Get nervous. Get nervous.
George is getting angry. Whoa.
Let's not all get freaking out here. Okay, so Ghostheads.
Going into panic mode. Okay.
Ghostheads was a movie. Brendan Mertens wanted to do a documentary about Ghostbusters. Obviously, Brendan Mertens is a longtime member of the Ghostbusters community. He used to I don't know. He used to be a little bit of a rabble-rouser from what I know. I've always had really good experiences with Brendan. And I will say, like, right off the top, I think I speak for Abby when I say this. Our experience, like, our involvement with it was very positive. Like, there was never anything... Like, you never know with these kind of documentaries, like, what's real and what's not, what's planned. Like, obviously, when I got... we got engaged, right? Abby and I, like, we got married and stuff.
You guys got, well, congratulations, guys.
Yeah. So we got engaged, Abby and I. If you haven't seen, there's a video of it. It's in Ghostheads. But the video, so you got to remember, Ghostheads came out in July of 2016. And, like, our engagement and all that stuff, that was in, what? February of 2016. February of that year. So, like, all of that happened months and months ahead of time. It had nothing to do with Ghostheads. So, Jake, you remember this when Ghostheads was being made? They were soliciting people to submit footage, right? Like interview footage.
They had like one. Yeah. Initially, there was like a packaged video that had some original submissions from early submissions, basically. Yeah. So it was like an example of what they were going for, which I saw that and I got really excited. Yeah.
So I think the original intentions were to just, be kind of a documentary about Ghostbusters fans from all over the world, the different franchises, charity work, PKE search, all of that kind of stuff. And maybe that would have been great. That's not really what the movie ended up being, but you got to understand documentaries like this, you have to have for it.
When they're being dropped on Netflix for a large audience and a wide viewership like that.
Yeah, it's not for the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
Community. Like, this movie was never for, like, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, it's whatever. Like Star Trek fans aren't watching Trekkies. People out. It's a peek into a world that you don't know anything about, and there's got to be like.
I'm sorry. I started to butt in, but I think maybe it started from a place where it was more of a this is going to be a spotlight on whatever fans, what we do or whatever. But you're exactly right. There are people who are producers or people who are going to invest. Like, they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah. So basically, that's what happened.
That spotlight got smaller and smaller and smaller.
Brendan, at some point, they did a Kickstarter and everything, and the movie started gaining legitimate interest from outside investors, and that's how movies get made. So like Tommy Avalone and a couple other producers who had experience making different documentaries, in my estimation, started putting money into it. And once producers start putting money into any kind of a film, they're going to start taking a little bit more control. So I do firmly believe that wherever Ghostheads started off, it
as like an earnest representation of the fans' devotion to a franchise, I feel like it was taken over by somebody who had a history of exposing or spotlighting people's mania and maybe their it's like an obsession rather than just this is what I do for fun and this is my humble what I can't what I mean. Nothing about it was humble, but yeah.
What I think happened there is I think somebody maybe was looking at the footage, saw what they had or whatever. I don't know how it worked with
with who.
So obviously there's multiple people in this movie, but there's also a few that are super, super in it a lot. I think what happened was somebody was like, oh, this is this can be like Trekkies. Have you guys seen Trekkies?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like somebody was like, that's what we'll do. It'll be fun.
But what's weird about it is that if the movie never feels like it really goes full on exploitation, I still think, listen, there's a lot of people that were pissed off when Ghostheads came out for different reasons. There was longtime community members who were excluded, who felt slighted.
Yeah.
And there were people who didn't care about that, but also didn't feel like the stories being told in the movie were truly representative of the community at large, which is another valid opinion. There was people who just weren't involved, who just wanted to talk shit, and that's okay too. There was a lot of different opinions, and also there's a lot of people that liked it. You get
it's like anything else. There's all these.
It's like any movie.
It's like
huge
any movie.
mixed bag. Yeah.
But because we're so close with it, I think the backlash was very very. We were close to the backlash, and if you can even call it a backlash, whatever the reactions were, but. Jake, there's a Jaws.
The community reaction. I wouldn't say backlash, but there was definitely a reaction from the community.
There's a Jaws fan documentary that's like on Amazon or whatever, and
yeah,
but that movie was made basically where fans just submitted videos of themselves talking about why they like Jaws, and all those fans are great, and I'm sure they're all great people, and they have interesting stories, but it turns into 3 hours of people just sitting there talking.
It's very awful. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of like
driving
There's
plot.
a difference between there needs to be something tying everything together, and like you can't just have everybody sit there and talk about like what Ghostbusters means to them, because first of all, half of that is just going to be the same shit. Like we all love Ghostbusters for pretty similar reasons. I think some people probably have like different sentimental things happening, and that's fine, but that's a boring documentary. Like, just plain and simple, that's boring. And like, of course, nobody who's in the community wants to see a documentary or anything, a movie or anything come out that might, in their own personal eyes, shed negative light on. You know, and I mean, like, I don't want to talk bad about anything or anybody on here, but
no, and I really think I'm honestly looking at this for the first time with like fresh eyes, because it is something that's like, it's not the easiest thing to talk about. I was super closely involved, and it was something that was very personal to me, especially my particular contribution. I don't think that the people in charge of it were necessarily pulling the reins in a direction that wasn't like from a good place. I do think that what we're pointing out about the fact that Ghostheads came out right as Answer the Call was coming out, there was steam and momentum around the project. And for a project like that, when there's money and time and investment going in, it does have to be a watchable product, just like you're saying. So having everything end in LA with the premiere and tying all those and braiding and weaving those stories together made the film or the documentary like cohesive, and I get that, and it needed to be that way.
And what's interesting is a lot of the way it happened was like sheer coincidence. So, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, was basically if you have a bunch of people just submitting footage, right, you're going to get some stuff that looks really good, you're going to get some stuff that's shot on cell phones that looks really bad, and at that point, like, once money was being poured into it, once there was official involvement from Sony, you don't want to have a documentary that is half done on like an iPhone 5, you know? Like, it just, no matter how interesting the stories maybe were, no matter how...
It needs to all look good.
Yeah, because...
That's just how movie making works.
Just how movie works.
Yeah.
So anyways,
like, it's not... No one's like going into it trying to make anybody upset, but it's like... you have to like play your cards right. So it's like, you know, we can't do this anymore. It's just not going to work. We can't. Everybody doesn't have, you know, options to the greatest equipment. I don't think what ended up being put together is like what's a good way to say.
I want to say something.
It is
real
not.
quick. I want to say there's like 5 or 6 different main storylines in Ghostheads. I think majority of them are boring. Like, I think they played it safe. Like, if I, like, I'm not talking about you. Abby just looked at me. I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, obviously, we're the best.
The reason this is so sensitive, by the way, is because I am friends with the people in this community, so there's, like, a level of, like, being so close to it that it's like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
listen, some of it was boring. Some of the movie was boring.
Yeah.
Listen, my favorite, here's my challenge to the Ghostbusters community. Anybody who had a problem with it, would you trade any of it in for the world? Like
no.
Would you get rid of?
No, because like I've read in the book that Harold Ramis's daughter wrote, she was talking about how something he used to always say was that every decision that you've made has brought you to this point, and if you're happy with where you are now, then everything's fine. And I am. So fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I contributed to it. I'm glad that we did it. I made friends. I have memories. It's out there. Is it a perfect representation? No, but there are some people who really enjoyed it. And I still get messages from people who, on like a serious level, are connecting and talking about, like, you know, because I talk about how I quit drinking and watching Ghostbusters was important, and people will reach out to me about that, and that does that's a fucking valid connection with another human being, so I wouldn't throw that
and
away.
like, listen, I enjoy watching it. I get laughs out of it. I laugh at all the right parts.
Dude, it's so quote.
You know?
We quote it like every episode. I'm literally quoting it in
Like,
some
Hey,
subtle way.
let me say something.
I love this.
Say it.
I'm gonna be completely fucking honest.
Dude, this is like going in dry right
Ghostheads
now.
is weird. It's very weird. It is not something that's like, it is a little, if someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, hey, I saw this Ghostbuster documentary. Isn't that what you do? It is almost a little embarrassing because I know 90% of what they watched is like,
Pink Meats Formosan.
Pink Meats Formosan.
It's cringeworthy and it's scary to everybody. But on top of that,
it's scary to everybody.
They should put that quote on the box. It's scary.
To everybody.
But I also want to say this. On top of that, it's kind of brought a lot of entertainment and fun stuff to the Ghostbusters community. There's been some shit, but there's also like we do have a lot of fun with it.
We do,
and that's good.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
2 years is enough to heal.
Yeah, we're healing.
So we'll say that
Here's
right
the
now.
thing.
And everybody's different. Yeah,
To-
exactly.
to
My
the-
journey is different from everyone else's.
To the folks
but I'm
on
happy
group
with where I
therapy
am.
who were interested in our involvement and what that was like, I'm just going to blatantly tell the story.
Brass
right
tacks,
now.
yeah.
Here we go. So, Abby and I, they're making this documentary. Everybody's submitting footage. And Abby and I were like, okay, cool. We'll submit some footage. We're very into the community. We love being a part of the, doing the conventions and all that stuff. And obviously part of the story was that, and I don't want to speak for Abby, and she can shed more light.
I had
on it.
on my Instagram in my profile posted for a very long time, Ghostbusters saved my life as a sentence on there. And that's something I would talk about a lot.
Well, just for those who don't know,
For those of you who don't know, I obviously grew up in a religious background, and if I had a drinking problem, I didn't want to go to AA because it's super religious, and I wasn't a big fan of that environment. But there are tenets and parts of AA that are important, like having a community and replacing bad behavior with something good. And getting into Ghostbusters and watching the... Okay, now I feel like I'm filming my fucking Ghosthead submission.
So,
getting into
do you know all the lines?
Yes. I'm a Ghostbuster. I know who I am. No, I literally am making fun of myself right now. But no, I really got a lot out of watching that movie and getting into the community and doing costuming,
Right.
and it was very important to me. So yeah, there was some special
When
shit.
you quit drinking, which was something you had to do.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago.
That time did align with when you were getting really into Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was part of the story that we were telling. We submitted our footage, and if you guys remember, there was a screening of Ghostheads. We never heard anything. We submitted the footage. Hey, Brendan, here's the footage. Thanks, got it, cool, love you guys, perfect. And like anybody else, we put our footage in, and they did a screening of Ghostheads in New York, maybe, I don't know, 5-6 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
4 months ahead of time. Sometime in the spring of that year at the Tribeca Film Festival. So it was a big deal, and they did this screening, and they did the screening, and I saw that cut of the movie. I don't remember the exact circumstance, but somehow I ended up, I think somebody gave me an early cut of the movie. I'll leave it at that. And I watched it, and we weren't in it. Like, Abby was in it for the movie was kind of essentially the same, a little bit shorter. Some of the, if I remember, some of the parts were a little bit different, but Abby wasn't in it. All the stuff with us was not in the movie. In fact, I think it was probably before like the trailer event and all that stuff. So like there was like one clip of Abby. We watched it, we were like, and I remember my first opinion was like, oh, I don't know if people are gonna like this movie that much. Like I remember seeing it. I was
Not
like,
because there's not enough Abby, but just
We're not
because
in it.
it's
It's
like
not good.
yeah, no, it wasn't that. I mean, my
Who's gonna
first thought
watch
was
that?
like, oh, maybe we dodged a bullet. I don't know.
it was
But-
close to that Jaws documentary almost.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So, but what happened was, after they did this screening, I don't know all of the details, but it was something happened with somebody where it was brought to the attention to the producers that there wasn't enough female representation in the movie, that it was just mostly dudes, which...
Probably precipitated from the fact that there was a female-fronted Ghostbusters movie coming out, that it was like, hey, if we're going to piggyback on this, let's get some girls in here. Yeah.
30 years ago, mostly dudes saved New York.
Mostly dudes were being dudes.
They did dude things, and they held their dude-like weapons to kill dude ghosts.
Well, girls did all the paperwork.
Look at Janine go.
She's pretty cute. She is cute.
Look, I bet she has to run errands and pick up more office supplies. Okay, I don't know what we're doing. So
I don't know either.
So I don't know what happened. I've heard stories of what happened. I don't want to call out names, but the rumor is that there was like parents involved of somebody. I don't know. Somebody was not happy that there wasn't girls in the movie.
There were some whistles being blown.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what?
More girls.
When we make
Get more girls in.
When we make our big announcement after this,
we're putting out whistles.
We're putting out a line of whistles. I don't know. We got an announcement coming up in a few minutes. Maybe we could elaborate more on that story down the line. If maybe you never know.
Yeah,
but we'll get there. So, anyways, they wanted more female involvement. Brendan, Tommy, Avalone, somebody reached out to me and was like, "Hey, we like your guys' footage. Would you be willing to do an additional interview?" And not only did they do an additional interview, they basically redid the entire thing. So the original footage we shot was just like us. No, I wasn't even in it. It was just Abby talking to the camera. And then they did it with both of us the second time. And they wanted us to tell our story. We probably did a 45-minute or an hour interview. And they went with the story that they went with. And that's fine. I've always been really happy that Abby could have an outlet to share her story. And I think you felt the same.
Yeah, I did feel the same. Especially in the moment of contributing. Like, it was a little nerve-wracking to talk about that stuff, honestly. But I wanted to because it was a huge part of my life. And I think that opening up about it is like, it's a big step. It's something I was already doing on social media, and like people had responded to it in a positive way. Right. So I was like, fuck it, this is a good way to connect.
We just did it, and we submitted the footage, and again, we had no involvement past that. We had already been engaged. And what happened was they saw that footage of our hey, you want the real talk? All the stuff with Ivan Reitman and contacting Ghost Corps and having his involvement with the engagement, that was all me.
Yeah.
I 100% did that.
That was like your pre-Yes Have Some podcast work.
Yeah, I was like, look at me go. I got Ivan. Who knows what I'll do next?
Yeah.
I'll propose to Jake.
Yes.
Yeah. Just this, at the end of the episode.
Kate McKinnon helped me propose to Jake. I could think of 5 things to do with a cadaver today.
Oh.
Anyways, I did all that on my own. They just wanted it for the movie. They're like, hey, we like that thing you did. We think it would be good for the movie. Can we use it? And I'm like, what am I going to be like? No, sorry. I'm above that. Mm-hmm. I'm above that, even though I did a public proposal and put it on YouTube. Like, I spent our whole night, we got engaged just like liking Facebook comments. So I'm obviously, I like the attention. Jesus
Dude, yeah,
Christ.
of course. There was yes. And also that engagement video was what led us to getting on the cross rip and talking to Troy for the first time, which was obviously a great friendship.
Here's to say, all of this indirectly led to Yes Have Some started.
Yeah.
Like, because
filming those things was like, we like doing
Once
this.
we got a taste of the Hollywood lifestyle, we're like, we're not slowing down anytime soon.
Big dinners.
Oh, I was on the phone with Todd Whalen. What's his name?
Todd Whalen.
I don't know his name. Somebody.
Craig, I remember when you were like, one of the conversations that me and you had before we started the podcast, when we were like talking about it.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember that you were like, we just did this video. We're going to be Ghostheads. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Jake, no lie.
Dude, you have to fucking work for it.
We had just started Yes Have Some. Part of the footage we submitted, here comes corporate shill Craig Goldberg. Part of the footage we submitted to Ghostheads was us podcasting.
Yes!
Yeah,
Again!
yeah, it
What
just
am I-
started.
I'm
Yep.
going to back up from the microphone and
We were
say,
like-
yes,
I remember
I
that.
don't care.
I
I'm
remember that.
I
selfish
was like,
and
dude, imagine
self-promoting.
this. It's going to be on Netflix. They're going to be
It's like
Yes.
fake pod. Yeah,
Jake,
you guys are
and
like
you want-
fake podcasting, aren't you?
Jake, we pretended to have a podcast and talk to you while we filmed it, and it was funny.
Yeah.
It was.
I remember. I made a Winston joke. And I was like, fucking goddamn it, why isn't this
And I
in
was
there?
like,
and then I
you
felt
know,
like everyone else who
I was
wasn't
like,
in
we should get a
Ghostheads.
P.O. box because we're not going to be able to handle the amount of money people are going to be sending us.
Many.
So yeah, listen. So we did it, and it came out, and the movie's fucking nuts. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just-
fucking nuts.
It is nuts. Yeah,
It is
continue
nuts.
it.
Like
Yeah.
it's kind. There's parts.
But
of it-
Yes Have Some podcast is still here 2 years later.
yes,
And we're
it
doing
is.
good, so that's fucking
Yeah.
great.
But
We're
I
better
mean,
for it.
We
Jake-
are. We've evolved. Yeah, exactly.
what was your Jake when you first watched it? What did you think?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what I thought. Half of it, I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." Some of my friends are in this, and not just you guys. Like, there are other people we know in the documentary.
Yep.
And I'm literally, it was like a half and half. I was like, "Oh, how come half of this documentary is like a real documentary, and half of this documentary is about an insane person?"
Yeah.
Hey,
I
don't
mean-
say that
That's how
about
I
me.
felt.
Don't say
That's how
that
I
about
felt.
me.
Dude, in recent
It's all about
like
me. They should have
recent
called it
events,
crackheads.
It really did feel like somebody just wanted to kind of capitalize off of like, I know
Exploitation.
Trekkies is old, but
Right.
Trekkies was very popular and
When it came out,
it
right.
was kind of a cult. Like, you know, people. Trekkies is a thing. People
think-
who don't like Star Trek, when they hear that somebody likes Star Trek, they mention Trekkies. Like, it's
Right.
I think the term we're looking for is freak show. That's what people
yeah,
look at it.
it
as.
makes you exactly. It's one of those like people watch Trekkies to make fun of people.
Right.
Yeah.
And it feels a lot like somebody was kind of trying to do the same thing with
Well,
Ghostheads.
here's the
But
thing.
half of it, but it's weird because the whole movie's not like that.
No.
It's like
There's some
half
really-
of it is like
half
a
of it
real,
is-
serious, like
Yeah.
Well, the
good
thing is-
stuff
Yeah.
happening.
I mean, we talk about Ghostheads a lot, probably more than we should.
And apparently we're doing a full episode on it right now.
Here's the thing: I think YHS is putting out a new shirt, and
I survived Ghostheads.
you can get I Survived Ghostheads, or there's
Picture of me holding a martini. I didn't even do a fucking shot.
No. Ghostbusters helped me stop drinking. Ghostheads got me drinking.
Dude, I have made that post, that comment before. So fuck it, we should be real.
there's a term for people like us. It's called and I talked about it the other day.
Insane.
We're Ghostheads heads. We
Ghost
love
heads?
it. We're Ghostheads heads.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah. Do you think? Okay. How do I skirt around the issue here? One of the
You
subjects.
don't, you just get right in with 2 fingers.
What she made the
You said
motion.
skirt.
One of the main characters of this film, a lot of people had issues with that person being so heavily featured, and I've always wondered what the real because even like right off the bat, like, do you think it was because the community had been so tight knit for so long, and there was like prominent members of the Ghostbusters community
That's a good point.
who were not featured, and do you
I
think
think
that a lot there, like, strip away all the craziness and the chaos and the fucking the parody songs and all the shit.
God.
Strip away all that. Do you think there was a little bit like who is this guy? Like why?
I think that's part of it. He kind of came out of nowhere. A lot of people didn't know who he was. He was like he might be
Donald
a
Trump?
huge Ghostbusters fan. He obviously is, but he wasn't very like known in the community. Like, there is a big community of Ghostbusters fans that goes back for a very long time, further than I've been a part of it, further than you guys have been a part of it.
Preach.
And some of those people who got upset are people who, I know it can come off as just whining, oh, I wasn't in the movie. But also, some of these people have done a lot of work and put a lot of money into contributing to the rest of the community as a whole. And I mean that as far as like when people started doing this, nobody knew what to make packs out of. Nobody knew like what that had. All that work was done by people who were still in the community, like figuring things out, figuring out what parts to use, this and like, all that kind of stuff.
Time,
and a lot of those
money,
people, all of those people were like, you would think if you're making an ultimate documentary about Ghostbusters, especially if it's going to be about the fans, maybe some of those people would get to talk or be mentioned or whatever. But instead of talking about like important members of a community that have like helped build something, like AJ Quick or there's a million people.
Right.
But instead of that, we just get some random dude who kind of makes everybody look like we're idiots.
Yeah.
And I know that's like.
Don't say that about Paul Feig.
Now I know that's movie making. They that's what they wanted to do. They didn't want it like you just said it. They weren't making a documentary for the fans.
Oh, is he making the sausage?
But I can understand people getting upset for that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conflicting emotions. I mean, I don't tend to live with like regrets ever.
Yeah.
I directly associate a lot of really awesome things in my life with that time, not necessarily like the Ghostheads, but that entire year of 2016.
Just that period,
launching the podcast.
There was a tremendous amount of happiness and joy associated that I have with that.
Yeah,
like it was a really good summer.
Look, I mean, I think Dan Aykroyd said it best. I don't think a Spider-Man coming into the hospital would have had the same effect.
Yeah, because Ghostbusters, that's something to be scared of. Ghostbusters shows up in your hospital room. They're probably there for a reason.
Is that the thing that no one's talking about? That it's fucking... Oh my god.
Yeah.
Am I allowed... Wait, save it for the extended content. Because I need to save that thought.
Visiting hospitals, you're scaring the fuck out of everybody.
Any rational thinking human?
My favorite part about Ghostheads is I'm not in it at all. I'm not in it. But my favorite thing is that whenever it's cycle, if you just leave it on Netflix and it cycles through.
Yeah.
On like screenshots, one of the pictures is the three of us.
Isn't that wild?
Like, that's all. That's
fucking
all
Yes
that
Have Some podcast.
Yeah. I'm just in a still picture, but I do like the fact that I can put Netflix on, go to a movie, and be like, "Hey, there's me, Craig and Abby."
Yeah, it's cool.
It is. And again, just to piggyback off that, at the end of the day, the people that I met in the very beginning, the people that we're talking about that were the pillars of this community that we kind of lurked around on gbfans.com and you slowly figure out like who's who and what's what, and it takes time. Those are still my friends, and I still care about them, and I'm very excited to see them at Dragon Con, and I'm very pumped that what we've created with Yes Have Some, it doesn't matter where it started. It matters where we are now. So I'm happy.
I like it.
Also, that's a perfect ending to that conversation. But I just had a great idea.
Thank you. Is it over? I'm sorry.
I feel like we need to try to contact the people who were in Trekkies and get them on the show.
Jake, they're all
and have
dead.
Group therapy?
They've all killed themselves.
Hey,
Dude,
we know them. They're all in the Ghostbusters community now.
Yeah. They all have names that are similar to Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
There's Cleet Floser and John Shedmart.
Tim Yogurt. What's his name? Tim Yogurt?
Oh, God.
Oh, wait. Watch out. Too close to home.
Hey. No lawsuits here.
It's hot.
Hot mic.
Guys, we're almost an hour in. Let's announce something special.
Do we have to? Yes.
Let's
I want
announce
to.
something special.
We don't have to.
Do we
Let's
do
do
that?
it. Yeah, I want to.
All right, cool. Well, that was fun. I'm sure it's not the last time we'll ever talk about it, but it always feels good to
Feels really good.
get a little catharsis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, cool. So before we move on to the fuck budget, we have an announcement to make. Yes, Have Some Podcast is officially launching a Patreon page.
Woo!
Whoa! I don't know what a Patreon.
Patreon.
Wow.
Patreon.
It's really exciting. So basically, here's the deal. If you're not familiar with Patreon is a funding platform for content creators, people who do podcasts, people who do videos, things like that. It allows listeners, fans, people who like to check out Yes Have Some Podcasts to contribute and help us do the things that we love to do. But we're not doing this the old way. We're not just asking for money and then saying, thanks for being a patron. You're going to help us pay for our hosting costs and our website costs. We're going to make this...
We're sending you nude photos.
Yes.
So.
Who's going to go first? You're first.
You, Gypsy and Gizmo.
Nude
They're
cat
always
pictures.
nude.
So this is the way it's going to work. So we've been working on this for a while. You can go to our official Patreon page. It's patreon.com/yeshavesome. And we're going to be linking it all over social media and all that. It won't be hard to find.
You're going to be sick of seeing it.
I promise. So basically, it's a monthly contribution. We've got 5 tiers. And it starts off at $1 a month. So for as low as $1 a month, you can contribute to Yes Have Some. And I don't know. All I can say is it means the world that people would take time out of their day to listen to us and to check us out and to say all the kind of things that they do. And for somebody to make any kind of financial commitment, even if it's $1 a month, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run through the tiers real quick, and then we're going to move on to the fuck budget, and we're going to be talking about this a lot more. And also, this is just the beginning.
And thank you, Group Therapy, and thank you, everyone, and thank you, whoever you are who's listening right now, because that means so much. Like,
there's
the fact
you guys
that we're doing
listening,
this
like, they
because of you.
started off talking about church, and they're in Ghostheads, and they're asking for money.
Now they
fuck these people.
Place.
Fuck them and their fucking assholes. All right, here we go. Yes Have Some podcast, patreon.com/yeshavesome. First tier is $1 a month. For that, you are going to get a personal thank you live on the podcast and on social media, probably more than once. It's really cool. So thank you. $5 a month. Not only are you going to get the personalized thank you on the podcast, we are going to be doing a quarterly newsletter 4 times a year. You're going to get, not email, directly.
Physical.
Snail mail.
To your house.
Physical. Real paper.
Actual
Real paper.
physical mail.
And we're going to put a lot of work into it. It's not going to be like a fucking flyer. It's going to have fun.
Nah, this can be illustrations.
Fun
Jake?
stories, exclusive photos.
Yeah.
Jake's going to draw pictures.
Doodles.
Yeah.
And,
Maybe some stickers.
Puzzles.
Stickers, buttons, things like that. We're going
Crosswords.
to make it worth your while for $5 a month. Here's the one I'm really excited
Perfume
about.
samples.
$10 a month. This is what I think. This is the one. This is like the best value, I think.
Yeah.
$10 a month. You are going to get a minimum of 2 exclusive Yes Have Some podcast episodes per month. It's probably going to be more than that, but a minimum of 2 per month that you're going to have exclusive access to. They will never be released anywhere else ever. You are going to have a password protected download. It will be on your phone just like the regular podcast, but 2 a month exclusive episodes where we cover topics we haven't talked about before. Just think about that Ghostheads
We'll use
conversation.
people's full names. So.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna let you guys help, like, figure out what that content is. Like, if we got people paying, like the people that are paying for that. If you want to hear us talk about a specific movie, tell us, and we'll
tell us in the live
it.
video chat, and then we'll put it in the bonus episode.
Yeah, so we're gonna have bonus episodes where it's gonna be unrated, unfiltered. We'll, like the Ghostheads conversation we just had, we'll go like 10 times further, and we'll probably do that pretty early on.
We'll say names.
Yeah.
This week on Yes Have Some Patreon exclusive, Jake names names. And he's just talking about, he's like, yeah, you guys know I'm on the picture on Netflix. Okay, so $10 a month. You get the 2 exclusive episodes at a minimum. We're going to do a monthly live video chat with all of our $10 a month and higher folks. And we'll just shoot the shit and talk and laugh and joke, and we'll have a good time. You can pop a beer or soda or whatever you want to pop.
Yeah.
And we'll have a live chat. And on top of all that, you're also going to get a personal phone call from the 3 of us.
Yeah.
We're going to call you.
We'll call you out of work if you need the night off.
We'll call your kids out of school. We'll run an errand for you. No, for $10 a month, you're also going to get us. We'll call you, all 3 of us on the line. We'll talk, we'll chat, we'll laugh, and we'll get to know each other, because I really want to get to know everybody out there on more of a level than just like Facebook comments.
Definitely.
I want to sleep in your bed. Okay, one thing to remember as we go to the next 2 tiers, all of this builds on each other. So if you sign up for the $10 tier, you get everything included in the other tiers, and so on. So next we've got the $25 tier. Very excited about this one. This is the YHS VHS tier. You are going to get bi-monthly, 6 times a year, a vintage original VHS tape in the mail. You're also going to get a digital audio commentary from us on whatever movie that is. And just for joining that monthly tier, you're going to get a Yes Have Some coffee mug.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. $25 a month.
I've been asking for a Yes Have Some coffee mug for 2 years.
Well, give
and
me
now we're
$25.
finally giving everyone, yeah. For $25. Oh.
So Jake.
I just needed $25.
Yeah.
We're all VHS collectors. I have a feeling a lot of the people who subscribe to or listen to YHS also love those vintage tapes. I'm really excited about this tier specifically.
Yeah.
Me too.
Jake says me too.
Yeah.
So everybody sign
Me
up.
too.
Me too. $25 YHS VHS.
Do it.
You're gonna get a tape in the mail every 2 months, and also. This isn't going to be run. Don't just expect speed because you can get like 40 for $1. Like
that's what I was just thinking. My gears were turning. I was like, wait a minute. Am I going to have to start doing a lot more VHS hunting to find multiples? It's going to all be Titanic.
VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Every store in the world.
Yeah, and also expect variants. Expect
workout
things like,
videos.
Let's say we did Jurassic Park.
Religious tapes.
Maybe we did Jurassic Park one month. Maybe 10 people would get the regular VHS copy and one would get like the special edition or the double edition or whatever other, we're going to make it fun. We're going to make it
about rare exclusives.
Worth everybody's while.
Yeah.
So that's the $25 tier. And also you still get the bonus episodes and the phone call and the coffee mug.
And the thank you.
And then, of course...
A lot of work. This is becoming a lot of work. Sure we want to do this?
Let's quit.
Should we stop recording now and go buy VHS tapes? Because I'm very stressed about that.
The last one is the $50 a month YHS Collectors Club. This is the big one. This is something we've wanted to do for a really long time. So this is the YHS Collectors Club. It's $50 a month. And what it is a quarterly box. 4 times a year, you are going to get a limited edition box in the mail full of exclusive YHS merchandise. That could be hats, prints, original artwork, enamel pins, buttons, stickers, all sorts of stuff. We have so many cool ideas. Not only are you going to get that stuff, we're going to be doing vintage toys. Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing posters, limited edition podcast episodes that could be on VHS or cassette format. Guest autographs.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really going to put a ton of work into making these things worth everybody's while and make them very special. Abby, we've been talking about the Collectors Club for a long time.
Fuck yeah, we have. I've been thinking about this forever. Personally, I want to get an oversized VHS clamshell case for this.
We're not making promises.
We're not making any promises, but it would be very cool to do that. And yeah, I've been thinking of this forever. I've wanted to have a newsletter forever. I've wanted to have a monthly box, obviously, with other box subscription services out there. It's something that we have bought before, like Nerd Block, etc. But to have something that we are packaging and stuffing and putting together and sending out is I'm very excited.
It would just be fun.
Yeah.
It's just going to be fun.
It's something we've been talking about for so long that I literally have a small pile of shit already compiled that I have bought specifically for one day we're going to give this stuff away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun and it's satisfying to put those together and stuff.
Absolutely.
What this is going to be is $50 a month. It is a quarterly box, 4 times a year. You're going to be part of the YHS Collectors Club. And again, this is stuff that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else if it's YHS related. So if we do a limited edition t-shirt or an enamel pin or a poster or a print or an autograph from one of our guests, those aren't going on the store. Those aren't going to be given away as prizes. The only way
they might end up on the secondary market at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to get it on eBay, but you're not going to be able to get. They're not going to be available anywhere else. We know that we have collectors, toy collectors, people who are into collectibles, limited edition stuff, variants, prints, toys. We want to make this exclusive. We want it to be worth everybody's investment because it's not lost on us that if you're willing to put $50 a month or $25 a month or $10 a month, whatever it is, it's a big deal and it means a lot to us. So we're going to wrap it up there. Yes, have some Patreon. It's there. It's available. Go check it out. We put up a really fun intro video. We're going to be doing a lot more exclusive video and audio for the Patreon page. And more than anything, I'm just excited to grow our community and just keep this thing going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what you were saying, Jake, about buying stuff for hopefully using it for the podcast, like to send out in the collectors club thing. I love buying things that like I know I can use eventually, like whatever decorations or like old party accessories. Like I just bought a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. Like I know it's just fun because I know that we can use it here when we're on screen and doing the thing.
Like
the
whole thing is like we go to a lot of conventions, we do a lot of stuff.
And now we get to do more of it.
We have the opportunity to do cool things, and we want to give back. Like we want to be able to, like if we find some cool old, like a bunch of vintage Ghostbusters stickers that are hard to find and expensive on eBay, like, you know, maybe something like that could be included in the monthly box or the quarterly box, I should say. So 5 to 7 items. It'll be different stuff every quarter. And yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm really stoked.
I'm like looking at the shelves right now to see what I have multiples of.
Hey, we're not giving you our shit that we already have.
I have a bunch of like
Don't
Batman
give away my
Returns,
stuff.
Catwoman little plastic rings. I'm thinking I can do that. I can give them away. Yeah.
Hey, what did you say? What? Okay, you're trying to get people to pay $50 a month for what?
Little plastic party favors that were probably like 75 cents back in the 90s.
It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that.
It's better than that.
It's going to be good. I promise. It's going to be good stuff.
Do it.
Okay, so that's the S House on Patreon. We really, really appreciate everybody's support. And now it's time for the fuck budget.
Fuck budget.
Fuck budget.
Fuck. I don't give a fuck.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Fuck.
Cool. Jake was just, I don't know if that recorded. He was Jake,
will you do that again?
Can you do that again?
First of all, I found it very calming.
I do.
This is Jacob Walsh. I'm your captain here on the Yes Have Some flight. And just a second here. Can you sit back and relax? And,
There's something on the way! There's something on the wing! Apparently there's something on the wing. It's time for the Yes Have... Thank you, Jake. It's time for the Yes Have Some Fuck budget. This is a segment we do all the time where we take 5 topics currently in movies, toys, pop culture, things like that. We break them down. Jake and Abby each have 10 fucks to give. They have to spend them wisely. They have to allocate their fucks. They have to create a fuck budget. They can't go over 10, and they got to try harder because they seem to keep going over 10 every single week. Are you guys ready for the fuck budget?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm specifically excited for this one because I feel like there's some good stuff on here. There's kind of a lot happening.
There's a mix.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little mixed bag.
Let's do it.
I'm always nervous sending you guys this because one day Jake's going to reply to my email for the fuck budget. It's just going to say unsubscribe.
No.
No.
No. All right, guys. Cool. Number 1.
Yes.
Yes, have some. Fuck budget. Ant-Man and the Wasp is out. We've all seen it. It's the latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was a palate cleanser because Avengers was just so sad. I felt sad.
For some people.
For some people. Not for all 3 of us. Jake's a fucking maniac. Everyone's crying during Avengers Infinity War. Jake's just like, yeah, fucking good. Good.
Good. We don't need that many.
There was too many.
There were too many of them.
When it comes to Ant-Man and the Wasp, Jacob Walsh, how many fucks do you give?
I gave it, I went back and forth a little bit. I'm going to settle on 2 fucks. I like this movie. I think maybe the first one's a little better. But my favorite thing about this movie is that it's like the Ant-Man films have both just been very fun. They are funny. Paul Rudd is like, he's very easy to watch. He's good. And these films are not, after watching Black Panther and Avengers, who are both like super heavy, dark kind of movies, it felt very good to watch something like Ant-Man where there's like a giant Pez dispenser being thrown around and it's silly. There's like an ant playing the drums and you can just kind of relax and not feel stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, I agree with you.
Abigail Gardner, how many
I
fucks do you
also give this 2 fucks. Okay. I enjoyed it. It was extremely positive and uplifting, and Paul Rudd's very funny. So it's like, is the villain the best? Not always, and not in this movie.
Was there a villain in this movie?
It was like
kinda, not really.
It was that sympathetic villain with ghosts.
Yeah.
The villain was like the FBI, basically, who just kept trying to make sure that Paul Rudd was on house, which that guy, he's very funny. And he as soon as I saw him, he's Asian Jim in that episode of The Office where they prank Dwight and make him think that Jim was Asian the whole time.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, it's Asian Jim.
Is he also in, what else is he in? I feel like I've seen him in other stuff. Well, anyways, so Abby, keep going.
Well, I'd say that I haven't thought about it, and I don't have the urge to go back and see it again, but the point that you made that it was something that felt necessary after seeing Infinity War. It was just a fun ride. It was what a superhero movie should be. It wasn't like a huge think piece. I don't need to like digest parts of it, but I laughed. I enjoyed it. I really liked Evangeline Lilly's performance, which is what I was looking forward to the most. I thought she was tough and awesome and all the things that I needed her to be. So yeah, and I love the giant ants playing the drums.
Hey, every time I see those giant ants, I want to watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids immediately.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
I just want an oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, I just want one of those anyway. Jake, what did you think of Evangeline Lilly in this movie?
I'm not a big fan of hers, but I thought she was fine in this movie.
Blasphemy!
Really? I don't know. I
Do you know a
never
lot of
liked
people
her
don't
on
like her
Lost.
on Lost? Yeah, I liked her.
I really don't like her on Lost. I don't know. I've never seen anything. I've never seen her in any capacity and been like, oh, she's good. I don't think she's bad in Ant-Man, but she's not like, I'm not going out and I don't know. I'm not making signs or anything. Is that a thing?
Jake, I made a sign. People normally make signs.
I make signs usually. I usually make signs.
Jake thinks every event can be Monday Night Raw.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Jake's just
I made an Undertaker sign.
Yeah. Jake's at Ant-Man holding up a sign that says, you still got it. Like
I'm holding a sign right now that says we want Gebhardt.
Okay, moving on.
That's true.
I liked the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I don't necessarily think it was like oh, this is the movie I needed after Avengers.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of room in the Marvel universe for different kinds of movies. Paul Rudd is very funny. He has that role completely down. He's basically just playing Paul Rudd. But I like the stuff with him and his daughter. It's pretty cool. Michael Douglas is always fun to watch. Hey, Michelle Pfeiffer, she should be in more movies. She's awesome. Yeah.
I liked her a lot.
What did you guys think when they had they used the de-aging technology for her and Michael Douglas?
You know, it was okay. There was a little bit of a weirdness to it, but it didn't look that bad. You know, I mean, and you know what? It didn't look bad at all. There are just a few shots here and there where you can be like, oh yeah, that's CGI. But mostly they're kind of getting that stuff down.
It's getting really close.
Yeah, and probably the more acclimated that we are to it.
What's it? Fishburne's? Like
oh my god, I thought I was watching fucking Dream Warriors. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw his and I was like, oh, is this just deleted footage from an old movie?
Yeah, it's insane.
He looks so young. I wanted to call him Larry Fishburne again. Because that's what his name was. Did you? But you laughed. You had fun.
I laughed.
I like it. I thought this movie was pretty cool. Post-credit scene or mid-credit scene, we see Ant-Man, Paul Rudd. He's back in the quantum. What's it called? The quantum realm.
Mm-hmm. Quantum realm.
Quantum leap. He's doing something. And it's very colorful. And
Thanos happens.
And Thanos happens again. I thought it was kind of cool. They all faded away like that because the whole time you're wondering, like, okay, so at some point that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like I was wondering.
You knew they were going to kind of link it somewhere at some point. We were going to have to know why Ant-Man isn't in, whatever.
Right. I had this theory that they were going to do something where like the halfway point of this movie was the end of Avengers, and it was going to like something cool like that, but they didn't. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see real quick? There's this subreddit specifically dedicated to Thanos, and it had like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they built a bot to automatically ban half of all the subscribers.
That's amazing.
I love that, but did everyone agree to that happening? Or
everybody was into it.
They wanted to be
that's
vanished
amazing.
or whatever? That's amazing.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Moving on. Number 2 in the fuck budget. It's 2 and 2. You each have $8 left to give. Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian, officially confirmed he is back for Star Wars Episode 9. Star Wars is in a weird place right now. It was fun for me to read some good news. Abigail Gardner, when it comes to Billy D., playing Lando Calrissian. And hey, this is the first time we've seen Lando on screen in a Star Wars movie in like 2 months.
I'm
How many
just
fucks
waiting.
do you give?
Oh, I'm panting for it. I give 3 fucks to this though, because Star Wars is very important to me. I think that it's been off the tracks and like off kilter the last 2 movies. Was not a huge fan of Solo, and The Last Jedi. I've talked about it.
It's getting worse for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting more serious. Like I was ranting to my dad about The Last Jedi when he was over here.
He's never
recently.
even seen
He
Star
doesn't
Wars.
care. I had to explain The Force Awakens to him first, which I did, and he was like, "Oh, that sounds good." And I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, wait till they get to Octu," and then it was like, "Okay." So yeah, the point is that I do care about these movies. I want them to get back on course, at least to make me happy, because I'm selfish. And I think that having some of the original cast members like Billy D. Williams back in their original roles is smart. It's what the people want. It's what I need. And let's get the whole family back together. And who knows? Like, I don't know if is it flashbacks? Is it like current timeline? Like, we don't know what capacity or how, but I would rather see him because he's charismatic and gives me those old feels, which I want.
Before I throw to Jake, like he had a couple conventions scheduled this month and he canceled them both for scheduling conflicts. So I don't think this is going to be like a one-off cameo. I have a feeling Lando's in the movie for some significant amount of time.
Okay.
Jake, how many fucks?
I gave it 1. I gave it 1 because I do love Star Wars as a whole. I don't really care about Lando Calrissian that much. I almost feel weird about this announcement because, first of all, like this story that they're telling right now, it's very concentrated on, Skywalker and Rey, and like it almost seems like where's there room for Lando? Like, what could Lando possibly have anything to do with this current the finale of the second trilogy, in this story?
I've got a prediction. I've got a little prediction for that.
We'll hear it in a second. But to me it almost seems like, oh shit, Solo did bad. Fucking people were complaining about the Star Wars movie before that. Let's announce another original actor. Like it almost seems like forced, and I mean, it's too early to tell. I could be talking out of my ass, but it doesn't seem like I don't know. It almost seems like a desperate come back to Star Wars kind of thing.
So
look, you remember him.
Star Wars isn't a really like it
obviously though. I'm like jumping for it, and I'm like, that's fine with me.
It's in a weird place right now. I don't think anybody saw this coming. I think the further we get from The Last Jedi, the more it's kind of settling in. Like, okay, this is where we are with Star Wars. Han Solo, or the Solo movie, kind of bombed. It was way short of expectations. There's been a lot of Star Wars the last couple of years. People are just, like it or not, people just didn't like The Last Jedi. Like a lot of people. It's probably 50-50. And there's issues with the movie, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoy parts of it a lot. We've talked about it a lot. I'm definitely cool. Like, here's my thing. I love that we have a podcast where I can evaluate my feelings about any given movie at any given time. If I love a movie, that's awesome. It's my prerogative. If 6 months later I don't like it as much, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're in a weird place. I think there was rumors this week that Kathy Kennedy might be out the door. Like that rumor keeps popping up. There's rumors that they offered that role to J.J. Abrams to head up Star Wars, and he turned it down.
Wow.
I think the problem is Lucasfilm right now is made up of, the reports are saying it's basically 50% like Lucasfilm loyalists and 50% Kathy Kennedy loyalists. So there's some internal struggles happening.
Star Wars Civil War. That shit's crazy.
I want to see that.
Oh, I'd watch that. Make a movie.
Side are you on? Team JJ.
They should make it. Hey, they should make a documentary about what's happening over there right now, but then like cast some random janitor.
Yes, it's a great idea. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's not even the manager.
Or just someone who pushes a broom but has the Force.
Okay,
got it.
I got it. I like that.
It's just like The Last Jedi. I get what you're doing, Jake. I get what you're doing.
The next Star Wars movie is all janitors and
I see it.
Pizza boys. Okay, so so Star Wars is in a weird place. They're going to be Episode 9 if it's not great, they're in trouble. Like, if it's not universally accepted as like, okay, this is a return.
They're gonna fucking close that park that's not even open yet.
Well, I think they could be in some trouble. Let's face it, the merch isn't selling right now. You can go. All the Solo toys are available right now at your local Target and Walmart. My prediction is that I've always held this thought that the movie was going to open up with the funeral for Princess Leia. I think that she will pass away off screen. It's probably 5 or 6 years after the events of The Last Jedi, and I think that's where we would see Lando.
Oh,
I think Lando. Can
that makes complete sense.
Brought into the fold, coming back in to see to go to the funeral. Another thing happened this week. So Episode 9 starts filming this month. Mark Hamill shaved. He's completely clean shaven.
Does that indicate de-aging?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I mean, I don't know. Like, Mark Hamill will definitely be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, their goal is like, we need people to come out of Episode 9 going, okay, I'm not as worried about Episode 8 now because now it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They need people. Like,
right.
I'll say it again and again. I don't have a problem with what they did with Luke Skywalker in Episode 8, but a lot of people did. And
even Mark Hamill himself.
Oh, he's not even hiding it anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
the petition.
Anyways,
out.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyways, Lando, would you say 3, 2?
I said 3 fucks.
3,
yeah.
Jake 1. All right, we're moving on.
Let's move on. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. All right. It was announced just today. Neil Blomkamp is directing Robocop Returns. They're doing a sequel to the original. They're ignoring the reboot from a couple of years ago, and they're bringing Robocop back to the big screen. I guess there was a script written by the original producers or something like that, and they're going to have some involvement, and the script's being rewritten right now. Neil Blomkamp, what did he do? Did he do District 9?
Yeah,
Chappie?
District 9.
He did District 9, Chappie, and Elysium.
Okay. Jake, when it comes to the return of Robocop, how many fucks do you give?
I gave this 4 fucks.
Whoa!
I gave a RoboCop sequel 3 more fucks than anything to do with Star Wars in this.
Priorities.
The original RoboCop is amazing. It is amazing, and it's one of those movies where, like, a few years ago, maybe a little more than a few, but I remember I went back and watched RoboCop, and it was the first time I had seen it in a very long time, like since I was like young, and I had completely like forgotten how insane and violent and like funny that movie is, and there's some scary shit happening with big ED-209, and it's a great movie, and the sequels, they weren't great, and I think Neil Blomkamp he's suited, like those movies, like District 9, Elysium, like those kind of movies, like I can easily see that being like Robocop. Like that's what he does, like post-apocalyptic kind of.
Was he attached to bring back Alien for a while?
Yeah, he was supposed to be doing he was supposed to be doing Alien, and that was the thing where like everybody was on board, and everything that he was posting, people were like, "Oh, this sounds like this could be a very good thing for Alien." And then it got like fucking shut down by the shitty Alien Covenant movie. I think he's perfect to direct this, and on top of that, the script is an old script that was written by the original guys that was going to be like a sequel that didn't happen. They're going to rewrite that. Mm-hmm. It's got people. It's reminding me a little bit. I don't want to compare. Like, I would never compare the movie RoboCop to Star Wars. But the thing that happened with like J.J. Abrams coming in and taking care of we've talked about it before. Sometimes when trying to bring back an old franchise or something, it's better to get new people to direct it than having the same person. And that's something that happened with Star Wars, and that's what they're doing with RoboCop. The RoboCop remake was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is good. I give it 4 fucks because RoboCop's very fun, and it would be cool to see like the real RoboCop back on screen.
Yeah, I like that the plot line is Detroit's in trouble, and they're bringing back RoboCop.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That's it.
The fact that it's called like they're calling it like RoboCop Returns or something, I'm just like, that just feels
good.
Feels right.
Good.
Yeah, succinct.
Abigail?
Yeah, well, after giving all those little opinions, I have to go ahead and say I'm giving this half a fuck. I've never seen Robocop. So there's that. That's out there.
You've never seen it?
Yeah, I have. I've never seen it. And as Jake was just talking so emphatically about it, I was like, shit, I better go watch it because I hope he doesn't spoil it. But reading this article, I initially was going to give 0 fucks because I have, like, how could I give a fuck if I haven't seen it? But reading this little article and reading the plot summary and all that, and then listening to you, Jake, I bumped it up to a half a fuck because, yeah, it sounds good. And I'm probably going to watch it this week.
I'm glad to be responsible for that.
Yeah.
You should. It's fun. It's a fun, weird movie about fucking Robocop.
So Robocop is like peak 80s, like just like the aesthetic of it. The comedy, it is so violent. It is so violent.
It's so violent that, like, whenever I went back and watched, I was shocked. I was like, holy fuck. Because, like, RoboCop's like one of those movies that you kind of remember, like, enjoying as a kid, you know, being like, you know, he looks cool. There was a TV series for a while. They made like 3 films. There was a TV series. You think of them as just being fun, but then you go back and watch the movie and there is some, like, hardcore violence happening, and you're just like, fuck. Well, I'm not gonna like say specifically since you haven't seen it, Abby, but you should watch it.
Here's the thing, like, there's an animated series. Violence. There's an animated series. There's a really great line of action figures that all have built-in cap guns into their back.
Yeah. He also, a little known thing a lot of people don't know is that Robocop also fought the Georgia Ghostbusters at one point.
I remember
that. Now that one I've seen.
And also, there's also Robocop was involved in an early WCW pay-per-view, and he saved Sting from Sting was trapped behind bars, and Robocop saved him.
That was really nice of him.
Wow.
Now he's returning. That footage is incredible, by the way. If you've never seen it, it's on YouTube.
I'm gonna watch that after I watch the movie.
So the thing about RoboCop is, like, it is extremely violent. I have a friend, my friend Billy has a really funny story about how he was begging his mom when he was like 5 or 6 to rent RoboCop, and she finally did. And he was watching it by himself, and like 5 minutes in was just like crying and screaming at the top of his lungs. It's just so fun. Like there's a couple scenes specifically that are like, but anyways, RoboCop.
I can't wait to watch.
It's like that. It just has that 80s kind of like, this is the 80s, and it's like that weird futuristic, not futuristic technology, and like...
Yeah, I was reading in that article, it's like anti-capitalism, anti-Reaganomics, like that's political, that kind of shit, which is why I was giving it a half a fuck.
But anyways, to fill in those details, gosh, I just had them pulled up right here. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. The original, the writing team, creators Ed Neumeyer and Michael Miner wrote this script. It's being rewritten by the fellow who, his name is Justin Rhodes, who just co-wrote the new Terminator film with Tim Miller. So, man, I'm excited about it. I don't have any fucks to give, but I'll give it some.
If you had said Genesis after Terminator, I would have been like, no, but now I'm okay, because that one's not out
Terminator
yet.
Genesis made me throw away my Sega Genesis. I was like, fuck this. It's spelled differently, but fuck it. You guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Ray Wise, who I'm a big fan of, who was in Twin Peaks. He was in the original RoboCop.
All right.
Do you guys think Peter Weller's really old, right? He's like 75 or something now?
He's old. He's older. You know, I could see them maybe like using his voice, but maybe putting a different actor in the in the suit.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, they could easily do some CGI, de-aging, whatever they need to do.
I mean, you literally only see his mouth unless unless his helmet comes off, which is possible but doesn't happen a lot.
So. The RoboCop remake sucks. Michael Keaton's in it, and he's kind of good in it, and that's like when Michael Keaton kind of came back and started making good movies again. How do you the reboot of RoboCop? That suit was like this like sleek black, like it was not RoboCop.
Yeah,
it was bad.
It wasn't.
Okay, moving on. Next up, it has been confirmed. It has been rumored for a while. The Joaquin Phoenix standalone origin movie for the Joker, directed by Todd Phillips, is now officially happening. It is going to be shooting this fall. It has a smaller budget for a superhero type movie, about $55 million, which seems to be about a third of what they would normally put into a movie like this. Abigail Gardner, when it comes to Joaquin Phoenix filling the shoes of Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, and good old, can't think of his name, Cesar Romero, there it is.
No.
What do you think about this?
I give zero fucks about this.
What?
Dude, I mean, I can't give a fuck. Like, I haven't liked what DC's been putting out. I didn't like Jared Leto's Joker.
Notice I didn't mention him.
Yeah, he's not even worth mentioning. But yeah, I don't even, like, the article that I read about this said that it's going to be like kind of a cautionary tale of some sort. And I'm just like, I don't want to learn anything from the Joker. Like, I don't really love Joaquin Phoenix either. And I read that it was a lower budget for this movie. Like, they're going to try to make it grittier. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll be great. Maybe having low expectations, maybe it's going to be amazing, but I just don't have high hopes for it. So I'm giving it 0 fucks.
2 questions. Who is your favorite Joker? And what is your just like overall opinion of the character itself?
I would probably say I'm a big fan of the character, and Jack Nicholson is my favorite.
Okay. Okay. But like, why do you like if you're a fan of the character of the Joker, but you're not excited for this movie, like what, like why?
Well,
am I drilling you right now?
I like him because I feel like this is a backstory movie, correct?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
they're
so.
saying it's
Like an origin story.
Yeah. I find his
Just dumb.
menacing because there is no origin story, and there's almost like who knows where that came from. Like, specifically Heath Ledger's Joker is like, doesn't he tell multiple stories about how he got like his facial scars?
Yeah.
And that's fucking scary because it's like, well, how is it? So your brain fills in the blanks of either he's completely mentally fucked up, or some of that's true, or what's going on with him. When your mind's trying to like figure the person out and you don't feel sure about them, it's better if you're going to go back and have a gritty, hard, like, I don't want Walk the Line with Joker or like anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I want.
Is that what you think this is going to be?
I feel like it might be.
Hi, I'm Johnny Joker Cash.
So we'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you for that insight.
Not optimistic.
Jacob Walsh?
Yeah. We can make this short. 0 fucks. Exactly what Abby said.
Oh.
But just, I don't have a problem with Joaquin Phoenix. I've liked him in a couple things, but DC just seems to be like throwing shit at a wall right now. Like I feel like DC hasn't had anything good in like 10 years. It's just like I don't care. I don't care about any DC films. They've all been very bad to me.
Okay.
I mean, like we have, like, we've talked about like Justice League. There were a few things in there that I thought that I liked, you know, but overall that movie sucks. And so does everything, you know, so did Batman versus Superman. So did like whatever. Aquaman looks so weird. I don't know, but I just don't care, man. I don't care about a joke. Like, I don't care about a Joker origin movie. I'll probably check it out, but I have no hopes in it being good, and I just don't care.
All right, let me ask you this. Could it, like, stripping away the WB, DC chaos of, like, announcing all these movies, like, just on the surface, is there a chance that this movie's good?
It's possible. Anything in the fucking world is possible. Yeah, sure. It could be good. I don't think it's going to be. And I also just think it's like putting origins to things is just fucking weird. There are so many. The Joker is another one of those things that there's a lot of different versions of the Joker, and that's fine. It's fine to do different actors and have different versions of him in each movie if they're not connected. No, who really wants a Joker origin? Like, who wants the, like, is this going to be a movie where it's like you learning how he became like a crime guy through the whole film, and then maybe at the end he goes and buys some fucking makeup? Like,
are we gonna fucking sympathize with the Joker and like get behind him and then see it happen?
Yeah,
that's probably what they're doing.
Abby, when you watched
The Killing Joke?
Killing Joke,
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
You had a visceral reaction.
Yeah, I hated it. I don't give a fuck anymore. I absolutely hated it. It made me feel gross, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like what they did to Batgirl. So
yeah, there you go.
Just didn't
there
make me
you
happy.
go. You thought it was a comic book, but still, doesn't mean it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck this. What's
fuck
next?
that shit. Move
Hey,
on.
wait, whoa. I'm excited about it. I like Joaquin Phoenix, and I actually like Todd Phillips. I'm looking at Todd Phillips' filmography. I like most of the movies he's directed. None of them are like the Joker, though. Like, he did Old School, Road Trip, The Hangover, Due Date,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch. That's
all
fantastic.
of Jake's favorites.
Yeah, you know how Jake's a huge road trip fan. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. God, give the man a chance. You guys ready for number 5 here?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Last but not least, let's just hear it.
Just listen to it.
It's the rise of the TMNT, the brand new animated series.
We're gonna play the whole thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're approaching our descent here. If you'd put the laptops up.
I'm in trouble. I'm gonna buckle my seatbelt.
Nickelodeon
Captain.
has a brand new Ninja Turtles animated series. This is the 4th or 5th animated Ninja Turtles series.
Like that.
It comes out. It's called Rise of the TMNT. It's got a very unique animation style. People are talking about it, but they did release the brand new intro theme song, Abigail Gardner, when it comes to the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon's brand new theme song. How many fucks do you give?
4.5 fucks. That's all my fucks
There it is.
that I have left.
Wow.
Because,
Wow.
dude, I like this. I like this song. I like the look of the action figures that accompany the cartoon. I looked the cartoon up, and John Cena's doing one of the characters, and also the guy who plays John Ralphio from Parks and Rec is doing Leonardo.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Like it looked good. I like the artistic style. I like the colors, and I like having more turtles out. And I think I'm going to give it a watch.
There you go.
I'm giving it the rest of my fucks because I care about turtles, and I care about the toys that are coming out and like accompanying it because that's awesome. I want to buy them.
Jacob Walsh?
Yeah, so I gave, so the title, when I got my email, it says like the theme song. So I thought we were just kind of basing how many fucks we were giving this on just the song.
Okay.
I gave the song 1 because fuck it. I don't care about the song.
You don't like
and
it.
like,
Well, the song's
I
kind of
don't
a
know.
takeoff of the original.
it is sure, but like, when the show, I'm all for the show. I know the turtles look weird, but again, I whenever it came out, I commented on a few giant threads when they first posted these of people complaining. The turtles are another thing where they've been around for so long. There's been so many versions. Why not let them look different every now and then? That's okay to me.
Right.
The animation in the video I think looks great. I love the Ninja Turtles. I will watch this. The song kind of sucks. I gave the song 1 fuck. But you know what? The last animated Ninja Turtles that just ended, they did the same thing. They released that theme song before any episodes came out. Mm-hmm. I remember listening to it, fucking hating it, and being like, this is going to suck. That show has been probably the best Ninja Turtle stuff out of anything. Like, that show is amazing. Yeah. So I'm not going to judge the whole show based on the song. I would, if we were just doing the show, I would also give it whatever fucks I have left. But that song just gets 1.
Okay. Yeah, I think it looks pretty
It's
cool.
like the Fallout Boy of
Exactly.
Yeah, got it.
Animation.
It's that same feeling. Like, wait, this is different. I don't like how they slowed this down. Or
The animation style kind of reminds me of the new animated Spider-Man, like a little bit. Like obviously,
kind of. I see that.
Just kind of like a really frantic and colorful.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. I think obviously, listen, they didn't make it for me.
No.
If it was up to me, those turtles would be, sitting around with
wearing
April,
hats,
talking about the good old days. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Apparently, Raphael is like the leader of the group in this incarnation.
Yeah, which is how it always should have been.
Yeah, Jake, real quick.
The weapons are different. I think they're also specifically all 4 of them are supposed to be different types of turtles.
Yeah, I read that.
And that's why they kind of look like they have markings because turtles do have markings.
Yeah,
so
one of them's a snapping turtle.
Whatever.
One of them's a lizard. One of them's just a kid.
One's a wolf, and one's the Rock.
Dude, it's making money.
It's Tokar, Razor, and the Rock.
And Bebop and Rocksteady.
Babies!
Should the Rock be cast as Rocksteady in the next live-action Ninja Turtle movie?
Yeah. Mama?
That's perfect.
Oh, mama.
Oh, you do such a good version
That's the
of that.
best. Hey,
Thank you.
that's the best impression you do.
You should do it in that voice. Just stay in it the whole episode.
Masters, Shredder. That guy's so drunk, dude.
Yeah.
Shredder's assistant in Secret of the Ooze.
Super drunk.
That guy is so drunk and probably, just putting a little feeler out there, probably doing inappropriate things.
You think?
Yeah. They're recruiting.
Because of being drunk?
Well, no, that's just how he gets there. That's how he gets there.
Okay.
I mean, listen, he's surrounded by young teenage boys from rough neighborhoods.
Oh, the Foot Clan are very vulnerable.
Yeah.
We have not even talked about that.
Yeah. Who also happen to just be...
Can we get that guy on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those... when you're in... in New York, there's there's like hundreds of homeless teens who also happen to be martial arts experts.
Mm-hmm. And look like they're in boy bands.
And we're also very good looking.
Guys, while we're on this, can we just mention really quick that at Comic-Con, I'm like 100% sure NECA is releasing the big Foot Clan figures.
Oh yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
The Foot Clan uniforms from the first Ninja Turtles movie are fucking awesome. I've always loved those, except for when I was a kid and was mad that they didn't look like the ones from the cartoon. Like, why isn't that ninja wearing like a gray Henley with purple fucking catcher's pads?
Yeah. Okay, right.
Do you remember the Ninja Turtles Foot Clan toy? And it was almost like a vehicle that you lowered down and it kind of trapped the turtles like a spider. That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
I brought it for show and tell, no big deal. But I came from a divorced family, so I needed things to make me happy.
God, I missed out on show and tell.
So yeah, these figures are cool. I love Ninja Turtles. We never really talked about it. They just announced that they're rebooting Ninja Turtles again as a movie.
Yeah, they're gonna make another movie. Yeah, do it. I'm fine with it.
I imagine that it's going to be kind of similar to the last ones, but I don't think they're going to go dark. I just have never got the feeling that they're going to make like that ultra violent, like faithful.
No, probably not. Movie. Probably not.
But I mean, cool, man. I like to see the franchise.
God, they should though. They should do an R-rated Ninja Turtles movie. Like, I feel like that would be amazing.
Dude, hey, the Foot Clan already did. We just didn't see it. Do you guys think it's weird that like every franchise seems to just be moving forward full steam ahead, and then there's like Ghostbusters, the little engine that could, that still just is kind of like, what is it, man? Ninja Turtles have been rebooted like 9 times in our lifetime. Robocop's coming back again.
Yeah, well, Ninja Turtles is like specifically like kids like that. You know, it's not like 4 dudes in their 40s smoking cigarettes, eating Chinese food, talking about science. It's for like fun turtles.
Hold on.
And like
2 questions here. This is an even bigger question about why did RoboCop get an animated series? Why did kids like Ghostbusters so much? Like, what about it psychologically was like, look at these guys.
It was the ghosts, and it was the ghosts. The cartoon is what got, I think, a lot of people. A lot of people who were kids, like, when we were born, I think we were probably watching the cartoon.
I mean,
first.
I was the opposite. I always loved the movie more than the cartoon, like always, my entire life. But I do agree
I think like the thing that like I think dragged me in when I was young was like monsters, creatures, and like effects. Like watching, I always got excited from just watching like seeing like the proton stream.
Yeah,
I always just thought that looked so cool.
Right. Yeah,
and I think that's part of it.
I thought what got me
also the theme song.
Yeah, the theme song was great. What got me into Ghostbusters was they were all tenured professors, and I love educated people. And I guess they weren't tenured because they all got fired.
Yeah.
I do.
I really like small businesses, like watching them start.
Yeah. My favorite scene in Ghostbusters is when they get approved to refinance Ray's parents' house.
Yeah,
like, you learn a little bit about that.
Classic kids movie stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, my calculations tell me that the interest alone comes to $95,000. I love numbers. It just got me going a lot. Well, listen.
I would just rewind that.
Ghostbusters will be back. We promise. Abby got a text message.
Got a text. Cool.
And let's finish this episode.
Let's do it.
What did you guys think?
Let's do it.
I think it was good.
Think of what?
Fun?
The episode?
What did you think of the fuck budget?
It was fun. It's always fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's always good.
Abigail?
I've never not had fun with the fuck budget.
I always love the fuck budget. I like to hear what Jake thinks and have different opinions.
Ghostheads. We covered some Ghostheads.
Dude, that was...
We covered it and we're going to cover it more.
We're going to cover more.
Go
Let's
back
talk
over.
about the big news.
Yeah.
Patreon.
Dude.
Yeah, just give us your money.
No,
Give-
come
yeah,
on.
come
We're not going
on.
to say that. We want
Like,
everybody...
we're not
Give me
asking,
$1.
but
It's
just
$1.
give it to us. We just want to be able to give you cool stuff.
We want to give you guys cool shit, so please don't forget. Here come the plugs. Please don't fast forward. It's going to be fine. You can find Yes Have Some's brand new Patreon page at patreon.com/YesHaveSome. We've got the 5 tiers. All the information's there. If you don't feel like rewinding and listening again, you can find it all on there with our intro video with a lot more to come. We're very excited about the Patreon page. And you can find YHS on Instagram and Twitter at YHS Podcast, Facebook.com/YesHaveSomeCast. And of course, Abby, where's the official Facebook group?
Group therapy.
How did you find it?
You can find that on Facebook by searching for Yes Have Some Podcast Group Therapy. Every week I'm like, how do you find it?
You have to email Facebook, ask them.
Search. Go.
You post on Facebook's
permission.
wall.
You go to
and you ask.
google.com and type in
Once the
Yahoo.
plane lands,
Yes. Yeah. And then
It'll be fine.
Facebook.com, search YHS Group Therapy, join the official discretion group. And obviously our website is yeshavesomecast.com. I don't know why that's obvious, but I said obviously. And Jake, listen, we've been posting a lot. There's a new character popping up on the Yes Have Some Facebook feed that people seem to be really into.
Oh yeah, I saw that guy.
If somebody wanted to see more of Cranky Godzilla, could they maybe anticipate a new
bonus content?
I think he's probably going to be returning. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And
he's got some fucks to give.
okay.
Yeah.
He seemed really
Wait,
cranky.
can he step in for a fuck budget?
He seemed really
He's cranky. Yeah.
cranky. He was cranky this week about... Well, listen, I don't want to spoil it. If you want to know about Cranky Godzilla, head to the Facebook page or Instagram and you'll see what we're talking about. For Abigail Gardner and Jacob Walsh, my name is Craig Goldberg. For Robocop, welcome back to the fold. And for Yes Have Some, please check out our brand new Patreon page. We will be very excited and appreciative if you would consider maybe joining with the crew, getting some cool shit.
Coffee mug.
Coffee mugs, exclusive content. Cool.
Newsletter.
Anything else before we sign off?
Yeah, I can't believe you guys haven't seen Hereditary yet.
Dude,
we don't have to talk about it.
Jake, we've got...
Just go see it because I think it's probably like an important film.
I'm scared.
Well, I've got 3 free tickets to see a movie because of...
It's probably leaving theaters soon if it hasn't already. It's been out for a good bit, but
All right,
it's one of
we'll
it's
go
good.
See
Go
we'll
see
see it this week.
RoboCop and Hereditary.
That's sweet.
And
Homework.
everyone go watch
Isn't
Ghostheads.
Hereditary technically a remake of RoboCop?
That's what I was
Yeah.
told.
I mean, it is. Yeah,
Cool. All right.
shot for shot.
For Jacob Walsh and Abigail Gardner, my name is Craig Goldberg. We'll see you next time on Yes Have Some Podcast.
Night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Go to the movie.